this is Jihyun from Ginseng Warehouse, from Seoul, Korea. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. As for here in Korea, autumn seems to be in full swing with a beautiful blue skies. These days, though, thankfully, we're not getting that much of fine dust, and that's a very great news, right? We get to enjoy very fine weather with clear skies, but still it sucks that we have to wear a face mask all the time. We've been wearing a face mask for ever since the 2020 has started, I would say. Right? So it's been a 9 months. Not to mention today is fall equinox. That Hi. Oh my goodness, sorry. As I said about my weather report at Arirang TV. Okay, so I was thinking about selling Kange Shop's Korean red ginseng products to Amazon. Recently, ever since I started GSK Warehouse since last winter, so it's been like 20 months already. My main customers were from Asian countries, like from Singapore, most of them, thankfully, and some Hong Kong and Philippines. And I have also realized that, 명신이 안녕하세요. I've also realized, 홍성 공부를 많이 했어요, 덕분에. I've realized there is a lot of demand for those in the States. So me and Myung-sik PD, we were talking about how we can expand the Korean red ginseng products to overseas markets, especially in the United States, selling at Amazon. And while I was studying for the Korean red ginseng, I have realized that there are certain questions that you guys are frequently asking. So throughout this short live broadcast, I wanted to there's a lot of I today. Jihyun, me will try to answer some of the questions that you might have and for the frequently asked questions. So let's talk about why red ginsengs and why Korean red ginsengs are such as a big hit around the world. And why Kangesha? Why have I been talking about this Kangesha product for more than a year now, nearly a year, not more than a year. So yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, 명식님 지금도 아직 서울이세요? 성수? 오늘 본사 가서 하려다가 잠깐 이제 좀 이따 또 다시 나가야지. Anyways, okay. So most frequently asked questions about red ginseng. 그 사람들이 이제 제가 명식님의 도움을 받고 무엇을 사람들이 많이 궁금해 하시는지 외국분들께서 영어권 사람들이 이 홍삼에 대해서 뭘 궁금해 하는지에 대해서 공부를 아주 조금 했어요. 많이는 못했지만 왜냐면 아까 오후에 통화했으니까 공부를 좀 해봤어요. So first, their most frequently questions were 그거였어요. 제일 많이 물어본 질문이 그래서 홍삼을 뭐 얼마나 먹어야 되냐? How frequently do we need to take Korean red ginseng, or what's Korean red ginseng good for, as well as why are there such a differentiation and variety in the price range? 가격 면에서 왜 이렇게 차이가 많이 나는지 등에 대해서 질문이 있었어요. But first of all, let's talk about why red ginseng or Korean ginsengs, 6 years old ginsengs, are such a big hit in a modern world. Well, first of all, ginseng, we call it ginseng. They're like a root plants. They're under the soil. And we grow them for not 1, 2, 3, but we value the 6 years old ginseng the highest. And I realized I found some of the articles why people are valuing the 6 years old ginseng the nose. They're not red ginseng just yet. They're just a regular, white, like a light beige color ginseng. And why 6 years? Because 4 year, usually it's really difficult to have them kept for 4 years anyways. Unless they're, environmental issues and their technology skills and all that, like it has to be all perfect. All the situations and circumstances should be great in order to they grow for 6 years. And after they become 6 years, they grow for more than 6 years, then they start to get rotten. So 6 years tend to be the most valued and nearly perfect length that ginsengs can grow under the soil. Okay, so 6 years under the soil, getting all those soil energy. And if you have heard, there's a ginsenoside, right, that were found in ginseng or 도라지가 뭐였더라 영어로? Balloon root, I think, are some of the vegetables and seeds that have the ginsenoside. And ginseng, of course, are known as having ginsenoside. And according to some of the sources and articles that I have found, there are 36 ginsenoside, but the most well-known, when we talk about ginsenoside, most of the products and companies are talking about these three of RG1, RG1, RB1, and RG3. And there are rest of, about 30 more other components. But usually these three components are the ones that they usually talk about. And you guys should look for the combinations of how much they have it. That's the first thing we look at it when we are buying red ginseng products. So RG1, RB1, RG3, and how much do they have it in their one products, and how much do they need to consume? It depends on the products, right? But that's the ginsenoside. And next question. Why is ginsenoside so special? And why is Korean red ginseng so special? There are 6 health beneficials that Korea's Ministry of Food and Drug Safety Ministries are saying. Some of the health facts, 6 of them, that's strengthening immune system, according to the articles, and it combat the fatigueness, which is so important. And that's why a lot of Koreans are consuming a red ginseng products around this time of year. When the season changes and Chuseok holiday is coming up, it's the most welcome gift for our parents and our loved ones. And also it's supposed to help improve the body and blood circulations, right? And support cognitive function and concentration. So physical and mental health. High in antioxidants are some of the health beneficials, like the proven health beneficials by Korean ministry. That's how great this Korean red ginseng product is. Okay, so there are a lot of health beneficials, and nearly 50% of health dietary supplements industry, Koreans go for red ginseng. And if you're over 30, Korean red ginseng, like red ginseng products, are most welcome gift. And secondly, we want to receive, that's the high quality or well-known brand of Korean red ginseng. So we know the red ginseng products are good. After they cultivate, they have to go through like steaming process, drying under natural sunlight and sea breeze for 관계샵 for 70 days, taking slow process. And then there's another step of like extracting that red ginseng. So there are some steps that red ginsengs are taking to become a red ginseng. And after they become a red ginseng, they extract with the water to become into a 100% red ginseng extracts. And when you go for red ginseng shopping, some are saying, well, it didn't work for me. Well, some of the reviewers were saying, oh, it did nothing. and it kept me all night because like I was taking maybe too much. We need to know how much we're supposed to take when it comes to Korean red ginseng. For instance, now this is this is one of the highest quality and best selling from Kange shop. What is this? This is 100% extracted one that's costing nearly $200. Let me show you. It's a bit sticky. Oh, so 100% red ginseng extract. It's a sticky. You'll see why I'm having a difficulty pulling this out in a bit. Oh. Korean red. Oh god. 아닌데 이거 완전. Okay, so this is the most premium line and quite sticky too. Oh, okay. All right. Got ya. Finally. Okay, and as you can see, this one, RG1, RB1, the total is how much? RG1, RB1 of how much? This is 10 milligram per gram. So one scoop of 1 gram gives you 10 milligram for ginsenoside. And for instance, if you're taking there's a little bit downgraded 말고 lesser ginsenoside, to give you a comparison, this is 5.5 milligram per gram. 어딨어? Here, 5.5 milligram per gram. Whereas this is 10 milligram per gram, right? So this is costing $130. This is costing $200. You will want to have 2 scoops of 5.5 ginsenoside to have equal amount. So might as well, having just 1 scoop of this one, get a little bit more expensive one, and have just 1 scoop per day. So 1 gram should be like about this much. Still, that's a 10 milligram of ginsenoside, very high in ginsenoside. But if you ignore the recommended amount and have like a lot of scoop at once per day, then it's very likely that you could have a runny nose and very bad headache because that's an overdose, right? It's recommended to have 2.5 milligram per gram to about 15 milligram per gram. So, and Kangesha recommends about 15 milligram per gram. 15 milligram per gram. So, 15 milligrams. So about 1.5 scoop for this, or 3 scoops for this one. But all depends, right? But if it's your first time trying out a Korean red ginseng, just start to taste it little by little, right? Look at this. 6 years old red ginseng. That's costing about $200. And this has been also certified as health functional food. 쓰다이. Health functional food. 여기도 안 써있네. Because this one was made in GMP facility. Let me show you. GMP facility, and it's a health functional food certified as, right? Bestseller, 10 milligram per gram. Whereas this one is also 5.5 milligram per gram, but there's a GMP on the top and health functional food. So when you guys are going for Korean red ginseng extracts, first of all, if you don't mind the bitterness, go for GMP and health functional food, right? The inexpensive ones, like they're costing less than $100 for a 1 bottle. Very likely. I'm sure those are the 6 years old Korean red ginseng extracts too. But look for, reliable and trustworthy brands. Not to mention Kanggeshop, they are selling at Shinsegae department store, exactly the same one at Shinsegae department store. And also, they have their own contracted farm. I was there. I went to their factory. So it's very reliable brands. That's what I've been talking about for a year now. I really do have a faith in this products. So all depends. Look for a Ginseng side, and if you're looking for a really good one and qualified one, go for something that's costly, right? And you can always ask me. You guys can direct message me to ask, is this a familiar brand? Is this a good one? I mean, for instance, if you're going for like a earring or clothes shopping, and it doesn't have to be a brand, right? I mean, depends. It doesn't have to be a brand. And I'm also selling a fry pan these days. Fry pans, non-stick coating one, like we gotta change them every year or so anyway. So unless they past a certain point, like no toxic chemicals coming out when you're, cooking, medium to medium high level, it's okay to purchase. But when it comes to red ginseng and when it relates to your health, we want to go to a top tier. You would rather spend extra money than getting the best quality ones. Don't you think? Right? Unlike the other products, when it comes to health, and the reason you searched for red ginseng and the reason you invested your money on Korean red ginseng is because you want the improvement and you want to notice the difference. Then you have to go for the top tier ones. And top tier ones, you first of all look for the amount of ginsenoside. Usually the higher ginsenoside, the more expensive ginseng products that they have for most of them, for all, to be honest, for all, right? This is $130 for 240 grams. Why? Because it has a lesser ginsenoside, 5.5 milligram. But does that mean it's necessarily these are better? Because this one has a 10 milligram per gram. Does it mean that it's necessarily lesser healthier? No, it's not like that. If you're 30, you can still have this one, 5.5. But if you're so used to taking Korean red ginseng, you don't mind the bitterness, and you're ready for the next step, and you feel really, you need a changes. This one, bestsellers. People always come back for this one. They never go on sales for this one. People who has been taking red ginseng at Kanggeshop for over 10 years, and all the employees at Kanggeshop, they recommend this one too. You will notice a difference within 2 weeks. But also there's a stick types. This one is also from Kanggeshop that you will be probably very familiar with. A stick type. This one stick type made it a little bit milder. They have, I guess they have a little bit of extracted of this one, and plus with the medicinal herbs. So if it's your first time trying Korean red ginseng and you saw me pulling out, there is a bit of difficulty because it's a stickiness. You have to take really well care because it's a sticky. And you need some efforts to take well care of this bottle extracted ones. But this grab and go, easy, right? With medicinal herbs, if it's your first time taking a Korean red ginseng and you do mind a bit of bitterness, then I highly recommend this one. This is also a health functional food made in GMP facility, which is a lot pickier, and Ministry of Food and Safety, they constantly come. They come and check out, make sure all the measures are being handled properly for the GMP facility. So it's a little bit pickier, I'd say, right? So first time trying, this is your choice. And also if you can't bear with the bitterness, Then there's another one. What they did with this one, they just mixed. I'm missing one stick here. This one, they have just mixed with the honey. 6 years old Korean red ginseng. But honey, but this one is not a health, does not have that health functional certification. This one was produced in the HACCP facility. So you can tell the difference, right? GMP facility, so it's a health functional food, has a stamp by Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, GMP. For the red stick ones, still a little bit bitter, but can't handle the bitterness, can't bear the bitterness, they go for the honey one. This is a lot sweeter. So high schoolers, I say that people in 20s, you guys can go for some sweeter ones, right? Oops. Higher range. Dun, dun, dun. The most bitter ones for that. So what I want to say here, 1 stick per day is enough. Well, actually, me and Kange Shop, the owner, was talking about, as for Korean, we should take 2 sticks per day. That's our recommended amount of dose. And for people in the Southeast Asia countries, he says 1 stick per day is enough. And I really need to ask for the Westerners. I'll ask. What's the right amount? Okay. Okay, I need to ask for the Westerners. Okay. And for this, 1 scoop is enough. My friend used to take the another brand for this for she doesn't mind bitterness and she loves the extracted ones. I don't know how she handles this bitterness, but she says it's okay. She says she used to take the another brand, but I recommended this to her and she bought and she's been doing it and she said, I'm waking up an hour early, Jihyun. I'm waking up, my eyes are just open automatically and I just wake up an hour early. So I was like, oh yeah, that's good for you. So I was like, no, I want to get more sleep, but I don't feel tired. I just wake up an hour early. So I told her to reduce the amount to half of what you are eating it now. And she said, oh, okay. That's what it happened. Powerful. If you're looking for to give a gift to your friends, your loved one, your husband, your wife, highly recommended. But not for pregnant ladies or for those who are taking blood circulation related medicine. Direct message me. I'll talk to the CEO of Kange. He's an expert, so he will have the answers for us. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully what I have for you today was a bit helpful. I have to head out now. And also avoid drinking with the caffeinated drinks, that's for sure. So don't have red ginseng and coffee. No energy drink and ginseng at the same time. Okay, remember that. And also the best time to consume is early in the morning. But sometimes I get sour tummy, so I usually take it around this time, like 3 to 4 p.m. in the mid-afternoon. That's fine. I get sour tummy, yeah. So I avoid eating it in the morning. But best if you can eat it in the morning. Also, if it's too bitter for you, you can mix with honey and water to make it taste a little bit milder. Okay, so my quick live presentation was hopefully helpful for those who's looking for a Korean red ginseng and something to boost you up and wrap up 2020 on a brighter and lighter and healthier note. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you think if I can get to sell it Amazon, people will like it? The Westerners might like it? Think about it. Well, think about it. Okay. Thank you very, very much. And I'll see you guys soon. Stay healthy, guys. That's what it matters the most. Okay? 아, 이게 위에 있구나.